Namaste and welcome everybody. Very special evening today. Last few hours of this year, and all clouds are down. Very mystical outside. This is the first mystical view of the season that we're witnessing today. And this is not fog, these are clouds on the valley. For all of us, I think another intense year. Very intense year. So many things happened in this year, I'm sure for all of us. It feels that time for all of us is running at a different pace, and we don't know the pace, but it's definitely a different pace. In this world, in this life, everything is cyclical. And whenever anything completes its cycle, that's a very significant time. For an example, the shortest cycle in your system is the cycle of breath. And the Yoga Shastras says, when you complete one inhalation, and after the inhalation, the exhalation, when you complete one cycle, there's a pause in between. For some split second, you're not breathing. Your inhalation and exhalation stop for a minute split second. And Tantra Shastras also say that's the most significant period. When the breath is absolutely stopped, that's the portal. If you're able to enter into that space, that's where the truth of Shiva is residing. If you're able to hold that space. All the techniques of breath control, pranayama, kumbhakas, bandhanas, are basically, essentially, it was all about capturing that pause and expanding that pause. Because in that pause, when the breath is not happening, one cycle is completed. And in that pause, in a split second, the portal to Shiva is open, if the yogi can enter into it. That's the shortest cycle. And then around it, everything is a little larger cycle. So after the breath, the next cycle is the day. And again, the day passes through these two transition periods. Morning, when the night is entering into the day, transition period. And evening, like this time, when the day is merging into night, the time of pause and transition. One cycle is getting completed. Again, there is pause. The cycle of the day has got completed. Pause. Now the night will begin. Then the cycle of the night will get completed. Pause. So that's another cycle. If you critically look at it, every pause is a tremendous opportunity. In the Eastern tradition, these two times of morning and evening, we call them sandhya. This is the time when we really do any significant spiritual process. Because between the transition, the cycle is completed, there is a pause now. Then the next cycle. Again, spiritually significant cycle. Cycle of the moon. From Amavasya to Purnima, a cycle. And both the points on this cycle, the start and the end, the Amavasya and the Purnima, full moon and known moon, become significant for sadhana. And Amavasya, which is new moon days, is attributed to Shiva, and most of the Purnimas are attributed to Vishnu. But again, significant points of this cycle, the monthly cycle of 28 days. Again, at the pause of the cycle, significant time for sadhana. And what is sadhana in this context? Shifting the gear towards, from the worldly pursuit, shifting the gear towards truth, bliss, and consciousness. And then the next big cycle is the annual cycle, 365 days. And now one cycle is completing. We are ending few more hours and that cycle is getting ended. Again, the moment of transition and pause. And every moment of transition and pause, you can really change gear. Do we understand this? Changing the gear? Okay, something interesting. How do you change gear? Let's say you're driving in gear number 3. How do you change gear? Let's say we're talking about upward gear. What is the most essential point of changing the gear? Can you tell me? Clutch? No, you got into technicalities.
Disengagement.
Sorry?
Pause.
Pause.
Come back to center.
Disengagement.
Come back to center.
Come back to center. And the most important part of changing the gear is leaving the gear 3 and entering into gear 4. Unless you leave the gear 3, you cannot enter into gear 4. Am I right? Most essential part. The willingness to leave gear 3. But most of us get stuck with gear 3. We want to move to the 4th gear, but we don't want to lose gear 3. The pleasures of gear 3, whatever that may be. Now you can't drive your car in 2 gears and you wish to move forward, more acceleration, but you don't want to leave the previous gear. Problem. And that's the beauty of this time. 31st December signifies what? It gives you an opportunity of what? Changing gear. But for changing the gear, you need to drop the previous one. Right? So in this year, a lot you have accumulated. You've accumulated a lot of sukhas, which is, what is sukha? Happiness. And you've also accumulated a lot of dukkhas, suffering. And a lot of judgments you've accumulated. This person is not good. Why does he always do this to me? She's always like that, nagging, etc., etc. We've accumulated all of this. Consider this as your gear. And now we're moving into the next cycle of our evolution called 2026. Do you want to change gear or no? First of all, why am I assuming that you want to change the gear and make use of this opportunity? Do you want to change the gear?
Yes.
Yes, Aniket? Are we? You want to change the gear? So you will then have to drop all that you've accumulated in this entire year. All the good and all the bad. And I'm saying all the good and all the bad both. Only then the slate is clean. And swift gear changing will happen. And acceleration will come to really move ahead. And most of this past gear is impressions and judgments. Largely two things. Impressions about each other, about one another, and judgment about one another and about things around. You've accumulated a lot of notions and conditionings. Unless you drop this, 2026 is not going to be any different than what so far your life has been. It will be a repeat. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, a lot of humanity, every new year is just a repeat of the old year. They will continue to do the same stupid things that they were doing before. They will continue to live in the same unconsciousness, unawareness, the way they did before. So year after year, no gear shifting happens. More garbage gets collected in here. Are we together? And that's the significance of this changing of gear time. To me, the celebration of New Year is just this, that A, you're able to burn all that you've accumulated, all nonsense that you've accumulated in the past year. And this nonsense I'm putting largely in two categories: judgments and impressions. Good and bad, both. Less good, more bad. You burn that away, and there's a new velocity to your life, a new speed to your life, new speed to your spiritual journey. That's the significance to me, and that's we are celebrating. We celebrate that. We celebrate dropping off all of this and entering into something absolutely new. The celebration is always of the new. Not the new that is coming, but the new that is becoming. That's the key point here. Most of the time we keep our focus on new that will come in this year. New that is coming. It's not about that. It's always about new that this is becoming.
New birth.
That's a new birth. So, all that you achieved in past year and all that you wanted to achieve but you could not achieve, drop all of that. जो हुआ अच्छा हुआ, जो नहीं हुआ और भी अच्छा हुआ. कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
जो इस पुराने ईयर में जो कंफर्ट लेवल हमने जो कुछ बनाया पैदा किया, उससे निकलना जो इतना आसान नहीं होता.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Mystically, please understand. Mystically now I'm speaking. Every transition time, from the transition of the breath, when the breath completes one cycle, to the transition of a year, when one full year completes its cycle, At every time of this completion and change, there is a very strong cosmic energy in nature. Very, very strong cosmic energy at every transition level. Anything that you consider or that you feel is very difficult for you to drop or to enter into, you make use of this cosmic energy. How do you make use of this cosmic energy? Two ways. One, deep prayerfulness from your heart. Prarthana. And two, Ichha Shakti, willpower. Because at this time of transition, both are very strong. The power of your prayer could be very strong because cosmic energies are strong. And your Ichha Shakti is also very strong. And by the way, let me remind you, in Kashmir Shaivism, which is the entire Shaivic system, they give much prominence to Ichha Shakti. And they say, with Ichha Shakti, you can attain Shiva in this moment. Ichha Shakti is very powerful. So the transition times allow you to really get more power in your Ichha Shakti and more power in your prayer. Please understand, that is the reason you do Sandhya at this time, at the time of transition. You don't do Sandhya at 12 noon. Because at this time when you do Sandhya, the power of your prayer is much higher because cosmic energies are supporting. So every time of transition, cosmic energies are really supporting both your prayerfulness and your Ichha Shakti, which is power of will. That's the significance of these transition times. That's the reason I said changing gear could become very possible during this time of transition of one year into another year. वो क्या पर्व आता है हमारे यहाँ, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, माह से शुरू होता है, मकर संक्रांति. जब भी हमारे यहाँ सूर्य दूसरे ऑर्बिट में यानी दूसरे राशि में प्रवेश करता है तो वो संक्रांति होती है. इसीलिए संक्रांति इतनी पावरफुल मानी जाती है भारत में. वहाँ आप फास्ट रखते हो, आप प्रार्थना करते हो, क्योंकि वो ट्रांजिशन का टाइम है. सूर्य दूसरी राशि में एंटर कर रहे हैं. हर समय ऑफ ट्रांजिशन बहुत बहुत पावरफुल होता है कॉस्मिकली ऑल्सो. उस समय जो आप प्रण लोगे, इच्छा शक्ति के आधार पे जो भी प्रण लोगे और जो प्रतिज्ञा प्रार्थना करोगे, उसमें बहुत बल होता है उस समय. ये सिग्निफिकेंस है ट्रांजिशन का, और भारत ने बहुत पकड़ा है इस बात को. हर ट्रांजिशन को हमने पकड़ा है ना. तभी महाकुंभ लगता है ना, वो भी एक ट्रांजिशन है. 144 साल की साइकिल कंप्लीट होती है, वो 40 दिन आते हैं ट्रांजिशन के, जब सूर्य, जुपिटर और तो जो ग्रहों का अलाइनमेंट होता है 40 डेज की साइकिल होती है. तो उस समय प्रतिज्ञा, प्रार्थना, इच्छा शक्ति चरम पे होती है. तो आपके अंदर बड़ा कुछ हो रहा होता है इस ट्रांजिशन समय में. वो यहाँ हम बोलते हैं ना कि सरस्वती कब जबान पे वास करती हैं पता नहीं, ठीक से मांगना. एग्जैक्टली लाइक दिस. इन ट्रांजिशन के समय पे ईश्वर की शक्ति जुड़ गई आपके साथ, इस पूरे ब्रह्मांड की शक्ति जुड़ गई आपके साथ. सो वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टाइम.
गुरुदेव शाम को 6 से 8 और सुबह 3 से 5
ट्रांजिशन
टाइम में
ट्रांजिशन वही संध्या के काल है ना.
बहुत ही आनंद.
So today we will do yajna to honor this transition and to enter into this transition. And today we will do yajna on a Buddhist mantra. Usually we do yajna on Mahamrityunjaya mantra, which we shall do tomorrow morning. Oh, by the way,
No, sorry, tomorrow.
we shall do another yajna tomorrow
Yeah.
morning.
Third is another.
Third, we'll do another yajna. So tomorrow morning we'll do yajna because it's the first day of the transition. We must do the yajna. So today we'll do yajna on a Buddhist mantra which is very close to our heart. You know the mantra, right? आप थोड़ा बोलेंगे मंत्र?
गते गते परागते parasamgate bodhi swaha.
The mantra says, Gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi swaha. Meaning of the mantra. Gate means leaving or going. Gate means leaving or going beyond. Mantra says Gate Gate. Two gates here. Very beautiful mantra. First gate means going beyond. Beyond what? The attachment of the body. Gate. I am leaving the attachment and entanglement of the body and going beyond. Second gate. I am leaving the attachment of the mind and entanglement with my mind. Parasamgate. Going further beyond. Parasamgate meaning going further beyond. So first I'm going beyond the body, then I'm going beyond the mind, and third, parasamgate. Now I'm going even beyond my ego construct, the self, I, me and myself. I am even dropping that and going beyond that. Gate gate, paragate. So paragate is going beyond the ego self. Fourth is parasamgate. Beautiful. Let's understand it once again from the beginning. I really want you to capture this, the essence of the mantra. First gate, going beyond the attachment of the body. Second gate, going beyond from the attachment of the mind, entanglement of the mind, thoughts and emotions. Paragate, going beyond the attachment of the ego sense. Parasamgate, even going beyond the attachment to spiritual experiences. Mike. Bodhi swaha. After going beyond these four, I enter into the state of bodhi, awakening. Swaha. There is no me anymore. I am fully established in this awakening now. Bodhi swaha. That's the mantra. Gate gate. Paragate. Parasamgate. Bodhi swaha. Going beyond the body. Going beyond the mind. Going beyond the construct of ego, and going beyond the need and desire or attachment to even the spiritual experiences. I drop that also. Only then bodhi happens, awakening happens. Swaha. This being is gone, only established in now awakening. Only awakening remains now. So since the year is going, 2025 is going, so with that, let the attachment to the body, association with the mind, entanglement with the ego sense, and need to get spiritual experiences Let all that go. Let me go beyond all of that and be established in the absolute awakening. So while we'll do this mantra and do a yajna on this mantra, you're all welcome and come to the yajna kund, fire pit, and pour your ahutis out of all the four or whatever else you've acquired and accumulated in the last year. Just pour all of that into the fire and offer it to Shiva. Whatever you want in your system to get burnt away, just offer it to Shiva through this fire. All the good, all the bad, all the body, all the mind, all the ego, all your spiritual experiences. And become absolutely pure. That's my wish, that's my prayer for all of us today here.